Hi friends, my name is Colby Sharp. I am so excited because we are getting so close to the announcement of the Newbery and Caldecott medals, and I just could not be more excited. So today I'm going to share with you my predictions for these beloved awards. I'm going to share with you 2 books that I think have a real shot at being honored by the Caldecott Committee, and 3 books that I think are in the running for Newbery medals and honors. Oh, it's so exciting. Are you ready? Let's go. It is so amazing and wild and crazy to me that 21 years ago, Holes was given a Newbery Medal. And this book has just stood the test of time. I think it's one of the greatest books ever written for kids. And 21 years ago, it got this fancy sticker. 20 years ago, another legendary book received a medal, Bud Not Buddy by Christopher Paul Curtis. It's pretty wild to think that these 2 books have been around and stood the test of time. That Newbery Medal, that little shiny sticker really does mean something, and it carries a lot of weight and a lot of power. And we are very close to new books being awarded this prestigious medal. And I have some predictions. And I also want to say that whether or not these books that I talk about win or not has nothing to do with whether or not the committee got it right or wrong. It is just a group of people picking a book, and they're going to pick great books I'm very confident of. And if it was a different 15 people, they might have a little different selection. These are just my picks. I haven't studied the criteria. I haven't just dug in and debated with a bunch of people. I'm just a teacher in Michigan who loves books for kids. The 2 picture books that I think have a real shot. The first one is Another by Christian Robinson. He has won the Caldecott honor, but it might be time for him to receive the medal. This is his first book that he has both authored and illustrated, and I think it's a contender. I know that people have been talking about it as a possible winner since it came out, and it is just beautiful. It's different. It's fun. I think pretty much every book that Christian Robinson illustrates is probably at least discussed by the Caldecott Committee, and this might be the year. The second book that I think has a real shot, I actually can't find my copy. The book that I think has a real shot and I think would be my favorite would be Saturday by Oge Mora. But I do have her book that won a Caldecott honor recently. Thank you, Amu. But I really, really think that Saturday is special. I think it is just stands apart from all of the other wonderful picture books that I read this year. I think that the illustrations are breathtaking. The story is magical. The story is timeless. It is a picture book that I know kids will be reading forever. And I hope that it gets that shiny sticker, because that will mean that so many more kids will be introduced to that book. So if you have not read it, if you have not read it with kids, don't wait to see if it wins a medal. Order the book. It's special. You won't regret it. I promise. Okay, moving on to the Newbery Medal. The Newbery Medal has been awarded every year since the 1920s. I have read every single Newbery Medal winning book. My friend John Shue and I did a Newbery Challenge a few years ago, and we read them all, starting way back when and working our way all the way up to the present time, and it was quite an adventure. I have 3 books that I think have a real shot, and I'm excited to see if they're possibly honored by the committee. And if not, I'm really excited to see which books they select. The first book that I think has a real shot is Gary's latest book, Pay Attention, Carter Jones. Gary has been honored by the committee before as an honor winner, but just the more I think about this book, the more I think it's got a real shot. I've had a lot of kids read this book, and just sitting with them and hearing them read passages during reading conferences, the writing is beautiful. I can just be sitting down with a kid at any point in this book and just leave that conference, number 1, hopefully helping my reader grow, and 2, just appreciative of the beauty that is Gary's writing and the magic of his storytelling. I think that I also feel like this could be a book that a lot of the committee members really like. But when they sit down in a room and they really talk about it and they really start breaking it down and they really start picking things apart and looking for greatness, I feel like this book has a shot to rise to the top. Pay Attention, Carter Jones. Don't be surprised if you hear this book announced as receiving an award from the Newbery Committee. Next up is The Remarkable Journey of Coyote Sunrise, Dan's latest book. I feel like this is one of those stories that kids are going to love forever, and that kids are going to want to read for just generations. And when I think about the Newbery Medal or Newbery Honors, I think about the books that kind of have that. Kids are going to be reading this for a really long time, whether it is Charlotte's Web, or Because of Winn-Dixie, or Holes and Bud Not Buddy, Maniac McGee. Sometimes that just beautiful story, that remarkable story rises to the top and is honored by a committee. And I would not be surprised. When I was reading, I was like, oh, this book is so good. This book is so good. But I don't think the Newbery committee is going to love it. But it is one of the books that has stuck in my head the most throughout this year. I have loved it. All of my students that have read it have absolutely loved it. Coyote Sunrise, we'll see. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a dark horse, but I wouldn't be surprised to hear it. And finally, The Bridge Home, Padma's breathtaking, innovative. I feel like she took some risk in the way that she wrote this book, and just the point of view and the way that this book is told. It feels special. It feels like she has taken children's literature a place that I haven't seen it go before. And for that, I think it's deserving of a Newbery Medal. I think that this book has a real shot. I think that no one would be surprised to hear this book announced. And I think that it's deserving. I think that these characters are special. I think the way that this book is written is beautiful. I think that writers should study this book. I think that kids should fall in love with this book, this story, and these characters. So those are my picks. I would love to know what you think is going to be awarded. And let me know down in the comments below. If you're watching this after the announcements, we'll see if I got any right. Last year I didn't do so hot. But it's all in fun. It's all in good fun, and it's all about celebrating the power of books and celebrating magical stories. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have an awesome-tastic day, and happy reading.